Attention, you are struggling with anxiety and feel that, with each passing day, this shadow seems to grow longer. How many times have you found yourself awake at night, with thoughts spinning like a whirlwind, or feeling overwhelmed by the pressure to be perfect, to please everyone around you? Anxiety can be a silent enemy, but there is a surprising fact. Many times, we are the ones who feed this unwanted feeling without realizing it. In this video, we will reveal together 5 common mistakes that, although subtle, have a profound impact on our mental health. Don't worry, you are not alone in this journey. The good news is that by identifying these patterns, you can begin to rewrite your story and take control of your life. Get ready to discover not only the mistakes that may be intensifying your anxiety, but also how to avoid them in a practical and effective way. Together, let's find the path to a calmer mind and a more balanced life. Change starts now. Did you know that neglecting sleep can be one of the biggest mistakes we make, and that it can intensify our anxiety? Imagine waking up several times during the night, unable to disconnect from the worries of the day. This sleep deprivation is not just a matter of being tired. It directly affects your mental health. Lack of adequate rest compromises your brain's ability to process emotions and deal with stress. Think about a day when you didn't sleep well. Your mind feels like a fog. Every small task seems like a huge obstacle, and irritation can quickly turn into an avalanche of worries. It's like you're submerged in a rough sea, where each wave of anxiety hits harder because you simply haven't had the necessary time to recharge your batteries. Now, how can we turn this around? The key is to create a healthy sleep routine. Start by setting a regular time to go to bed and wake up, even on weekends. This helps regulate your biological clock. Create a relaxing environment. Keep your bedroom dark and cool, free of distracting electronics. And don't forget to establish a relaxing bedtime ritual, whether it's reading a book, doing some gentle meditation, or even taking a few deep breaths. By prioritizing sleep, you'll not only reduce your anxiety, but you'll also improve your mental clarity and overall well-being. Now, let's move on to the second mistake that could be sabotaging your peace of mind. Ignoring your diet can be a devastating mistake in the fight against anxiety. What you put on your plate doesn't just affect your body, it also affects your mental state. Studies show that a diet lacking in nutrients can negatively impact your brain chemistry, resulting in higher levels of anxiety and stress. Think about how you feel after consuming processed and sugary foods. Oftentimes, the result is a temporary energy boost followed by a sudden crash, leaving you feeling more irritable and anxious. Among the common dietary mistakes, overconsumption of caffeine is a standout. While a cup of coffee may seem like a good boost, too much of it can raise your heart rate and amplify feelings of nervousness. Another common mistake is skipping meals or eating an unbalanced diet, which leaves your body without the energy it needs to function properly, resulting in a mind overloaded with worries. To reverse this situation, how about adopting a diet that favors your mental health? Foods rich in omega-3, such as salmon and walnuts, can help reduce anxiety. In addition, including fresh fruits and vegetables, such as bananas and spinach, can provide essential vitamins that keep your mood balanced. Another suggestion is chamomile tea, which not only calms the mind, but also aids digestion. By making healthier choices, you not only nourish your body, but also strengthen your mind, making you more resistant to anxiety. Now, let's delve into the third mistake that may be sabotaging your inner peace. Avoiding physical exercise is a mistake that many people make, often without realizing the impact it can have on their mental health. The connection between physical activity and mental health is well established. Exercise releases endorphins, the so-called happy hormones, which promote a sense of well-being and reduce stress levels. When you exercise, you're not only strengthening your body, you're also creating a powerful defense against anxiety. A lack of physical activity can lead to a vicious cycle. Without exercise, the body becomes more sedentary, and feelings of restlessness intensify. This can result in a restless mind filled with anxious thoughts that seem to never end. Stress builds up, and feelings of helplessness can grow, fueling even more anxiety. But the good news is that integrating exercise into your routine doesn't have to be a difficult task. Start with simple activities that you actually enjoy, such as walking outdoors, which not only provides the benefit of movement, but also allows you to connect with nature. Another option is strength training, which you can do at home using your own body weight, such as push-ups and squats. If you prefer something more social, try dance classes or group sports, where exercise becomes fun. Set realistic goals, such as 20 minutes of activity per day, and gradually increase your goals. Over time, you will notice not only an improvement in your fitness, but also a significant reduction in your anxiety levels. Your body and mind will work together to bring you a sense of peace and balance. Now, let's explore the fourth mistake that may be getting in the way of your path to a more peaceful life. Perfectionism is a subtle but devastating mistake that many people face in their daily lives. The relentless pursuit of perfection may seem like an admirable goal, but in reality, it often becomes a trap that fuels anxiety. When you set such high standards for yourself, any deviation, even a small one, can trigger a wave of self-criticism and dissatisfaction. Picture the scene. You're working on an important project, whether at work or school, and you find yourself consumed by the need for everything to be absolutely perfect. The result? Hours and hours of endless work, growing anxiety as you feel you are not living up to your own expectations, and finally, performance that, instead of being satisfactory, seems to fall short of what you imagined. This cycle repeats itself, creating a pattern of stress and self-criticism that can be debilitating. In addition, perfectionism can manifest itself in many areas of life, such as personal appearance, social relationships, and even the way you present yourself. For example, someone who refuses to leave the house without being perfectly dressed, or who avoids social interactions for fear of not behaving ideally. These rigid standards not only generate anxiety, but can also lead to isolation and frustration. To combat perfectionism, it is essential to cultivate acceptance and self-care. Start by recognizing that perfection is an illusion. Instead of focusing on doing everything perfectly, allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would treat a friend who is struggling. One effective strategy is to set realistic, measurable goals. Instead of trying to reach an unattainable ideal, look for progress and celebrate each small achievement. Set aside time for self-care, such as reading a book you love, practicing a hobby, or simply relaxing. Over time, you will realize that accepting imperfection can bring a sense of freedom and therefore reduce the anxiety that perfectionism generates. Now, let's move on to the fifth and final mistake that may be hindering your journey towards a more balanced and peaceful life. Social isolation is a mistake that many make, often without realizing how much it negatively impacts their mental and emotional health. Imagine yourself in a quiet room, away from the noise and hustle and bustle of the outside world. The environment may seem comfortable at first glance, but loneliness becomes an invisible weight, trapping the mind in a cycle of anxious and depressing thoughts. The lack of social interactions can create a deep emptiness, leading to feelings of sadness and helplessness. When you distance yourself from others, you lose the opportunity to share experiences, express feelings, and receive support. Social connection is a fundamental pillar for mental health. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. What was once a simple invitation for a coffee becomes a distant memory, while anxiety begins to build, fueled by the lack of stimulation and support. Recognizing the signs of isolation can be the first step to changing this reality. Signs such as reluctance to leave the house, excessive use of social media without real engagement, or the constant feeling that others do not care can indicate that you are withdrawing. It's common to believe that staying isolated can protect you from rejection or judgment, but the truth is that this behavior often intensifies anxiety and emotional discomfort. To reverse this situation, it's crucial to seek out social reconnections. Start with small steps. Send a message to a friend or family member you haven't seen in a while. Suggest a walk or a coffee date. Join community activities, interest groups, or even book clubs. The important thing is to expose yourself to new experiences and interactions, remembering that every step counts. Building a solid support network doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency, you'll be able to see the benefits. Sharing your concerns with others can ease the emotional burden and bring new perspectives on your anxieties. And remember, never underestimate the power of honest conversation. The simple act of opening up and listening to others can transform the way you see the world and yourself. Now, after reflecting on these 5 mistakes that can increase your anxiety, it's time to make changes. Recognizing where we are failing is the first step towards transformation. Instead of letting ourselves be carried away by the pressures of everyday life, you can choose a lighter, more balanced path filled with support and connection. Throughout this video, we explore 5 common mistakes that, often without us realizing it, can intensify anxiety and harm our mental health. We discuss how neglecting sleep, ignoring food, avoiding exercise, succumbing to perfectionism, and social isolation can all become dangerous traps, amplifying feelings of anxiety in our daily lives. Each of these points is not just an isolated mistake, but rather a pattern that can intertwine and create a cycle that is difficult to break. It is essential to recognize the importance of each of these aspects in our lives. Refreshing sleep, a balanced diet, regular exercise, accepting imperfections, and connecting with others are foundations that support not only our mental health, but also our overall well-being. By becoming aware of these mistakes, we begin to make room for meaningful change. At the end of this journey of reflection, the message we want to leave you with is one of hope and motivation. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but each step you take towards healthier and more positive habits is a step towards a more balanced and fulfilled life. If you feel overwhelmed, remember that you are not alone on this journey. It is natural to have good days and bad days. The important thing is to persist and continue to seek improvements. Be kind to yourself during this process. Change takes time, and each small victory should be celebrated. Allow yourself to make mistakes, learn, and grow. By adopting new attitudes and replacing mistakes with practices that favor your mental health, you'll not only alleviate anxiety, but you will also cultivate a more loving and welcoming space within yourself. Every day is a new opportunity to start over. So, take a deep breath, embrace the present moment, and start walking the path of transformation. You deserve it. At the end of this video, I invite you to reflect and share your journey with us. If these tips were helpful and you believe someone in your life could benefit from them, don't hesitate to share this video. Sharing experiences is a powerful form of support, and together we can create a stronger and more aware community about mental health. Also, subscribe to our channel to receive more tips and strategies on how to take care of your mental health and well-being. We are here to help you build a more balanced and lighthearted life, always bringing content that can make a difference in your daily life. And now, we want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes do you recognize in yourself? How have you dealt with it? Share in the comments below, and let's exchange ideas and experiences together. Your voice is important and can inspire other people to also seek change.